Hello and welcome. I'm Nina Bawal, co-founder at Cyberlite, and welcome to the fourth in our series for educators to understand the cyber risk and cyber safety we need to be aware of for our children. Today we are going to deep dive on phishing. Now, as you may be aware, or the update to anyone who's coming in on this video, phishing is one of the 6 components we believe every child should be aware of when they're looking at their cyber safety and their landscape online and how to stay secure. Our information goes from 7 to 17 years of age, getting children to understand what the risk looks like in each topic, what the solutions are, and how they can ensure they are independent online. As I said, today we're going to look at phishing. Now, phishing is often seen something that is prevalent in the adult world. We see it through phone calls that may come through to us, emails that are targeted to get us to give personal information, maybe our credit card details. It's a real worry that there's so many people who have contact lists who are continuously targeting us. However, our children are no less targeted. Unfortunately, phishing has become more prevalent in the youth than it is adults because they're more likely to give you information. They're more likely to host your information or their friends. So they can be giving out more than just something about themselves. So they have become a target. They're also easily accessed because they are on gaming platforms, they're on Discord, and they're also very, very aware that you can use your online space to communicate with others. Everybody online as well is looking to have a level up, one up, no more, be an influencer. All of these things really target our children. I'm taking you back to a slide that I have in lots of my presentation because I like to embed the foundation of what we're looking at in our child's cyberspace. What does it look like? Where do they see phishing? And how does that emulate in their cyber bedrooms? So just to give you a case back onto this slide, my bedroom looks like something in the blue. This is an adult space where I frequent adult areas. I will be in Facebook, WhatsApp, Gmail, and this is where I can be targeted by phishers. Phishers are, in definition, people who are phishing for information about us for ill means. They can be pretending to people they're not, or organizations they're not. I get them from our bank. I get them also from things like PayPal or Amazon, trying to get me to click onto something or believe something that's not true. However, when I'm speaking to students about phishing, I'm not talking to them about credit card details. I'm not talking to them about the emails they get because that is already very limited. Where they will see it is in their cyberspaces, in their cyber bedrooms. If we put children on an app where there are other people without settings on, they become targets to phishing attacks. And one of the apps that we see it most prevalent on is Roblox. Now, Roblox, I will give you just a sort of a short synopsis of what the app is so you understand how it works and how it's used in a phishing attack. Now, Roblox is like a Google Play Store or an Apple Store. It's a platform where you can host your game as a developer and engage with an audience and try and get as many people to engage and make money. So the motivation of who's created the game itself is an external third party, and their motivation could be negative. The other thing about Roblox and why it becomes quite a large-scale phishing attack to our children is by its nature, it became famous because of its invention of Robux. Robux is cash that you can use to play in games, to exchange, to be able to buy different avatars so you can play the game and look unique. So there's a value, there is money being exchanged at all levels on Roblox. So this has become a target. This virtual currency is something that scammers are really, really interested in knowing more about. And what they also want to do is get children to give their personal information across so that they can use this for future phishing attacks as well. So what we need our children to understand is somebody's offering something free on an app such as this. It could be too good to be true. My case in point and example always is, if you are on the MRT, has anyone come up to you and offered you free cash? Have they given you reason to give you dollars for no reason? It's never happened because it's too good to be true, and we need to understand that. Also, a lot of scammers will try and get our children to exchange objects that we have bought, which may have high value, giving them or enticing them with something like a limited offer, or if you give me something from your Adopt Me page, I can give you something over here. And that's what will lead them to being able to get into the account, or getting something of high value they can exchange in the virtual world. There is a problem with Roblox in the fact that our children are often speaking to strangers without realizing those strangers may not be who they say they are, or may have negative motivation. So we need to be aware of that. The other thing about these pop-ups that come up to entice our children, not just on Roblox, but on other games as well, they are often pop-ups that take you to a third-party website that doesn't belong to the original website. So you have gone from somewhere you may have been secure and safe to somewhere else, which may have a virus on it. And without an antivirus, hardware could also be in problems itself. What you find with a lot of the attacks that happen, or the scams that are happening, they're often done by people of their own age as well. So they speak the right language, they can entice the children in, and they realize that information leaks very, very quickly. So what can we do? What can we be teaching our children in the classroom? The first thing we need to be very aware of is, if something looks too good to be true, it often is. So we need to get that across. If someone's giving you something for nothing, there's a motivation. In the world, people rarely do anything that isn't somehow coming back to support themselves as well. The same is true of the virtual world. Why would somebody give you something for free if you don't know them? We also need to be really sure that children understand that money online, the type of engagement we have with cash online, can also affect our own bank accounts. And if parents have linked their credit cards to the bank accounts of their gaming apps, it's a very quick way for hackers to get information, passwords out of our children and get into those situations. The other thing we need our children to understand is their cyber bedrooms need to be free of anyone they don't know in the real world, especially when they're very young. They need to be in a space where they can be comfortable and confident that they're navigating it in as secure an environment as their own bedroom. So they have every right to block strangers. Strangers are not only there for ill means and grooming our children, they're also there to get their money or to get their parents' money. The other thing that we need our children to understand, both in the classroom and at home, that it's okay to have adults come into their space that they know and play together. It's really good to sit down, speak to your children, understand the students. Why do they use these apps? What joy did they get out of them? We want children to enjoy their online space and not be scared of it. So the more tools we give them to be able to make decisions while they're on the platform, the better and more secure they will be. So some digital hygiene tips to walk away with that we need our children to understand often are the most boring ones that we don't do ourselves, but it's really important we do. Each child should know what an antivirus is. This is something that is created by developers, by technology, that will ensure that if a virus or something comes onto your device, an antivirus is like an already baked in medicine that will ensure that your hardware is vaccinated against whatever a scammer hacker is trying to do. So the importance of an antivirus is something we should be aware and talking about. Patching is another one. When you are in a classroom and there's an installation update that is required, get into the habit or the hygiene that children should do that straight away. The patch is because a developer has found that there is a bug in their app, or they have had a security breach, and they have created a patch, which is again another type of vaccination that will secure you from something that's already out there. Unfortunately, this is a cat and mouse type of game between victims and hackers and the technology companies. So there are always on installations that need to be had. It's important that we set our children's devices to automatic updates as much as we can. And if we're thrown an update, to get that done and not ignore it. The other thing we need our children to critically think through is when we're writing in a password and we're giving a password over to Instagram or to Roblox, what we have done is we should know the password. It should be unique and understood by us. However, so does Roblox now know our password. So what could happen is it could be breached from their side. We may stay silent and never tell anyone, but Roblox may be telling somebody, unfortunately. So we need to have 2FA in all of our accounts. This is very much when there are 2 lines of defense. The easiest way to explain this is when you go to the credit card machine, you go and you authenticate yourself twice. You need the card and you need the PIN. The same needs to be true of our online world. You need your password, and then you need the OTP that comes to your phone or your email address, and this keeps you secure. Sometimes this feels like adult information that we're giving children, but if you have ever seen a child whose Minecraft world has been deleted or their Roblox account has been everything has been taken out of it, you realize that scams peer-to-peer or scams on children happen all the time. And it's the simple tools and knowledge that we give them that will keep them incredibly safe in their space, and something we should be aware of. Thank you for listening to my module on phishing. You can go over and look at all our other resources, but this will give you a great way to start the conversation and guide your children through why it's important that we recognize if we're being phished, what phishing is, and how we can stop it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.